So we're going to talk about stuff that happened last Friday. Obviously, it was the much hyped body bag summit. No one, as we know, yet has resigned. I'm doing this on Saturday, so if someone has resigned by Monday morning, then yeah, obviously things have changed. But the big thing to come out of this is that the cabinet seems to have agreed, and this seems to be a soft Brexit. Theresa May wants an UK free trade area. Now, bear in mind, I want to stress this because this is just our government, our current government, negotiating with itself. So there is absolutely no guarantee that the EU will go for the current, what they've agreed upon. Remember, the EU's position has been very clear from day one. Only literally, what, a week ago now? A week? Yeah, less than a week ago now, Theresa May put out, this is her vision, she wants a single market for goods. And the EU basically turned around and went, you can't do that. We've said, no, you can't. We've said that you can't cherry pick what you want of the single market. You either accept the single market or you don't accept the single market. You don't have any choice in this. And of course, Theresa May's whole idea, single market for goods, was basically cherry picking the single market. So of course the EU was going to reject this. Now this new thing that they've agreed upon, as of yet we don't know the details. I'm not sure if anything else has been released, as I think there's some white paper supposedly in the works coming out. Again, more information coming soon. So what's basically summing all this up? So apparently Theresa May has finally got a hold of her cabinet. But I have to say this now. Is this actual genuine control, or has she just, you know, put fires out until further down the road? Now, remember, we were meant to be spending at least these past couple of years since the Article 50 negotiating with the European Union to find out what our future relationship and stuff is going to be like. The government has wasted all this time arguing with itself, disagreeing with itself, you know, people competing for different plans, you know, hard versus soft, all that jazz, unable to decide what they want, purely for the fact, as businesses have come out and said, I think it was the Airbus or it was the Land Rover CEO, have basically come out and said, look, the reason why these people are in such a mess is because they cannot come up with a single solution that will not cause any damage. And the Conservatives are desperate not to cause any damage. I've said this from the start, that the Brexit whole thing, whoever was the Prime Minister, it doesn't matter if it was Mogg or whoever, it could have been Boris Johnson, it could have been Nigel Farage, this was an absolute poison chalice for them. They will go down in history as the Prime Minister that screwed over this country because Britain doesn't have the kind of economic power that the Brexiteers and all these people that support Brexit seem to think it does. We do not have that power anymore. We no longer have any hard power. We do not have any soft power now, thanks to Brexit, because we've shown the world that if the going gets tough, then Britain will just walk away and leave. That's unfortunately what's happened. But there you go. Will we fully leave? Will there be a people's vote again? I don't know, but support has been gathering. And here's the thing, let's say there isn't a people's vote and we leave in 2019. Well, okay, this just turns now into we need to rejoin the EU. And I guarantee you, all these groups at the moment that are separate should all join together and just go, okay, we're going to campaign to get back into the EU. And trust me, their arguments are going to be rock solid compared to the absolute fantasies that the Leave campaign, an unofficial Leave campaign, parroted for years. Because, as I've said before in other videos, the Brexit campaign, and specifically Brexiteers, are uniquely responsible for everything that happens to this country beyond March of this year, and probably since the referendum. So you are to blame. And the problem is that these people do not want to own the consequences. You have people like Daniel Hannan, someone who's been campaigning to leave for 27 years, but doesn't have a single actual solid idea or a plan about what he wants. He's just vague ideas and vague fantasies. As he wrote back in 2016, he wrote his vision of Britain in 2020 something, and it was just a complete fantasy. You know, but this is unfortunately where we are. We are dealing with a government that knows if it leaves the European Union and the customs union and the single market, it will cause irreparable damage to this country. But because of hardliners in the party that are driven for ideological reasons more than anything else, they are going to irreparably damage this country. So, here you go, folks.